Afrique, et malheureusement Afrique sans fric. Oh, naso idée, naso idée, yendenika. Mais oui, c'est comme ça. Eh oui.
Welcome back to Now You Know Podcast. I'm here with El Nino, Nda, Blesso, and myself, Chef Carl. How y'all doing today?
We are in the cloud.
I like how he said,
You're in the clouds, huh?
I'm here with myself as well.
I'm telling you,
Carry on, bro.
I'm here
he's
now.
there. He's there himself.
Me, myself, and I now. You know the
Costa
vibes.
Rican fella.
You know the vibes. Aha.
How you doing, though? How you doing?
Nah, I'm good. All right, before we get started, though, just want everybody to go ahead and follow us on Instagram at NYK Podcast and on Twitter, as my fellow youths would say, at Now You Know One. So Instagram, or what the kids would say, the gram, at NYK Podcast, and Twitter at Now You Know One. But today we have an interesting topic. Oh yeah, she would actually. You know, I might pull up to London, to catch a Top Boy, try to sell some food,
Where's my food, man?
Where's my food, man? The mad youths. Yeah, And that background you got, man, that palm tree kind of reminds me of a place back home called Limbe. Eh? Have you been there before?
What is a limbe?
Yeah, I've been there.
You've been there?
I've been to Costa Rica. I can honestly say that Limbe is better.
Limbe is better. I mean, I would believe so because, it's the motherland, right? And that actually leads us to a topic, which is, going back home. So, how do you guys feel? I think all of you have actually gone back home in the last few years, if I'm not mistaken.
You are very mistaken. You are very mistaken.
Who, you haven't been back home in the last few years?
You are mistaken. Doesn't matter if I've been home or not. You are mistaken.
I'm mistaken? So correct me then. How am I mistaken?
You are mistaken. Let's move on.
You see this? Common sense is not common.
Maybe his idea of home has changed.
Exactly.
I'm telling you. His home may be somewhere else at this point. His home is in Newark. It's in Newark, But all right, guys. So, going back to Cameroon, right? So, you just came back, right? Not too long ago. Was it
not too long ago.
Under a year ago? Yeah.
Yes.
So, how did it feel?
Man, it felt amazing. I mean, that was my first time going back to Cameroon in 12 years. And
Wow.
I felt like, I felt really like I was going home. I mean, it is my home. But, as soon as I touched down in Cameroon, it felt so, the peace, the calm and everything that I felt there was just so different. It was an amazing feeling. But it was also like two-sided because I also felt like because I hadn't been there so long, I felt like I was a tourist. So it was a weird feeling, but it was a lovely feeling as well, just being home.
Yo.
This guy put Cameroon peace in the same sentence.
Maybe you see, if you're in Cameroon, right, you wouldn't put those things together. That's why I'm saying that the tourist in me felt peace.
Man said Cameroon, peace and calm in the same sentence.
I get it, though. I think I get what you're trying to say, because like when you go to Cameroon, right, you know that there's no waking up and going to work tomorrow. So just having that like mental, my state of mind where you're like, I don't gotta go to work tomorrow. It's kind of peaceful, man. So I think at least that's how I felt.
No bills, man.
So when you take PTO, when you're not in Cameroon, do you still go to work?
When you're close to work, we can call you and you come.
I know, right? So you just went to, right? What, a year and a half ago or a year?
Yeah, December 2021.
What were your first impressions going back? Because that was your first time going back, right, in a while?
Yeah, that was my first time going back, yeah. Like that said, you were home, but at the same time, I didn't feel like I was home because I did not know anything, especially because I was in Douala, which I was only in Douala one time before I came to America. So it's like I was home, but I had no idea what was going on. I still had to like learn, like taking baby steps and learning how to take a bike and all of those things. And, so it was nice to be back, but it was also strange in a way. If that makes any sense.
Wow. Now it does, and that actually leads me to my next question, right? Because that's like you kind of feel like a tourist. He felt like a tourist at all. So like in your case, right? Did you feel like you stood out, like where people like recognize that you weren't really not from there, but like you weren't really, with the people like that, like they knew you were foreign.
His hairline was different.
Yeah. So I always tell people, like, when you've lived in America or out of Cameroon, right? When you go back to Cameroon, it does not matter how you try to quote unquote dress like people in Cameroon dress, or how much you try to disguise that you are not from out of the country. They know because the kind of dust that's in Cameroon is not the same kind of dust that's out of Cameroon. Like, when you're looking at people's eyes in Cameroon that have gone through hardship, like who have gone through tough times, you can spot it, man. You can spot it. So they know. I mean, like, they know. I mean, even like when you go buy, being in America where you're used to going to the store and just seeing like whatever price that is there, and then you cannot bargain. You just take that price and you go pay. But when you go to Cameroon, when whatever price they give you in your mind, especially when you convert it to dollars, right? Especially if they say something is 1,000 francs, you're like, it's probably $2, or like
That's
or
cheap.
something. Yeah, that's cheap. So you just want to pay and go. But like the people who are in Cameroon will be looking at you like you're crazy, like you're not beating that price. So like just little things like that give it away. Yeah. So they know.
Oh.
They knew I was not from Cameroon.
Mhm.
Not saying that I was spending, but like just little things like that gave it away.
That's a weird flex, but okay, man.
It's a weird flex.
Dollars have
I
arrived.
know, right?
I'm not flexing. I just didn't have the patience, right, to stand and be beating price.
Yeah, I understand for sure.
Yeah.
Yo,
So your
actually,
time is more
Coming
important.
to Cameroon.
man. So I understand what you mean, but so because I remember I went to this big market in Yaoundé, I forgot what it's called, Marché, whatever,
Marché Central.
and not even Marché Central, it was another one,
Olo.
and apparently that one
Marché North Central.
Marché North Central. But I went in and like we were just walking around, and people follow you, like hawkers, they will follow you, like, oh, come to my shop, come to my shop. But I could tell, even though I was wearing two ropes to pass, and I was just trying to be as normal as I could, but those people could tell that this person is not from
It's
around
not
here.
usual.
It's like I haven't seen this guy
we ain't
before.
seen him. We ain't seen him in these
Exactly.
parts.
So they can just notice certain things, the way you talk, the way your mannerisms around everything. You notice that.
How was your French?
No.
Parlez-vous?
Excusez-me.
When was the last time you went?
2015, right before the pandemonium.
The Ambat stuff.
Mm-hmm.
How was your experience though? Because I know that was your first time going back, right? Since you left.
Nah, 2011 I was back. 2015, so just 4-year difference.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean,
How
for
did it feel?
me, I was there I was in Cameroon for like 40 days.
40?
Yeah, 2015, I was there for like 40 days.
Wow.
Yeah, so, I mean, now it's different, right? Because of the whole situation going on in Cameroon. But then, it was more of a laissez-faire type thing, right? I was free to go anywhere I wanted. I spent the whole time in Bamenda. But, contrary to what that and that's what I was saying, mine was totally opposite. I was free to go anywhere. I didn't feel any type of pressure or is being scared. I didn't feel like a tourist. There was some calm in the country because at that point there was no issues, no amba, no stuff like that. So the only thing that changed though, because 4 years is a long time, right, between visits. A lot of the places that had spaces in Bamenda or where I grew up, Mulang, those spaces were not houses. So every small space was now a house or a shop or something. Like everything was just occupied. It's like people were just moving population was growing. So, but other than that, the country was just as it was when I left. So it was a complete, different experience to what Blesso and that faced, these last few years going back home.
Our resident traveler just arrived. Mr. Adele, Mimi, how far?
Mimi knows French. You can come and translate.
I know, right?
Tu me sais moi, Mimi? Tu me miss?
Tu me miss.
Mimi is having system issues there. Okay.
But bless
Or
I
maybe,
mean,
maybe it's a
no,
user error.
User error. On a race ticket.
No, it's okay. But go ahead. That what you're gonna say?
no. I said one thing I would say also, and that which obviously is I'm a little bit jealous because obviously when you went back, the atmosphere was a little bit different. All of us here, at least most of us, we grew up in the Northwest region in Bamenda, and because of everything that's been going on, at least for me, not sure about Blasso, but I couldn't go to Bamenda. So in a way, I felt like the trip was a bit disappointing because you're going back home, but you're not really going home.
Mm.
Because I grew up in Bamenda, I grew up in Darincon. So going to Cameroon without visiting my family home, going to our family house, seeing my people in Bamenda felt so disappointing. But again, it's just a result of what has been going on in Cameroon for the past couple of years. So I would have wished that things were a little bit different when I was there, but that's what it was.
I can relate, man. Same for me. Same for me. Like, and that's it. Going home, but not going home was probably the toughest thing. But it is what it is. At least I had, most of my family members now are in Douala. So just imagine people living from Bafut and not knowing how to speak English now in the French land. Surviving. And yeah, but they have no choice but to survive. So
It's actually funny though, because what you said actually leads me to my next question for you. Considering you don't speak much French, right? So what was your biggest challenge, navigating the whole Douala area? Not understanding a lot of what's going on.
So luckily I had a friend who took me everywhere I went to. So I didn't really have to do that on my own. But there were times when there was one time where I had to go see my uncles. And so what I did was I called them, and then they were like, give the phone to the bike man. And then we'll tell the bike man where to drop you off. And then the bike man, took me and dropped me off. And then, I called them again. They gave me the next step. And then I got there. But it was really hard because trying to break a taxi, especially if you don't know how to say how much money you have in French. Oh my God, you have suffered because now even with the change crisis in Cameroon, when you break a
Does it
taxi,
change crisis?
like they don't have
Money?
this thing. They don't have cash like change, like loose change.
That's
like
what I'm saying. I
coins.
didn't know there was a crisis.
Liquidity.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So if you break a taxi and you're going, somewhere where your transport fare is what? The fare is let's say 250 and you have 1,000 francs, and you have to let them know ahead of time because if you go and just surprise them with 1,000 francs, they might give you 500 and say that's your change because it's not telling them that you don't have change. So if you have 500, you have to say you break the taxi and you call them up place you're going to and you say something like "De sang dang sang sang." Mimi, am I right?
Wow.
You know?
But c'est est-ce que tu peux dropper moi avant le Mami Coco là-bas?
Parlez-vous. So that was my biggest challenge, right? And then even trying to buy something and then the guy bargaining in French or trying to speak English, and you trying to speak French and you guys just missing the numbers and just that was my biggest challenge.
Wow.
I am big age. Cannot speak French.
I know, right?
Nonsense. Tu as mumu.
Efulefu.
I see Mimi, come and translate this one. What does that mean?
What?
What is it? What they said now? Try Mumu. What does that mean?
These two people, I don't know. They're talking Bafut and O'Shea here. I don't know what they're doing.
You don't know.
Mimi, tu me
Je t'ai missé, mon frère.
Tout le monde manquait.
That's still my word. Say
Est-ce que tu me sais moi, Mimi?
You know that Blezo can talk French more than most of you on this
I mean,
call.
there's
You
okay.
don't know.
Who's
Yeah,
most
yeah,
of you people?
Nah, it's
To be
because
Who's
you
most
haven't
of you
honest,
heard.
people? Who's
Yeah,
most of you
joking.
Because you
people?
haven't heard us now.
well, I don't know
It's
about
because-
that
no.
and Carl, but for sure than Belna.
For sure.
Je suis
Yeah.
pas cher.
The thing
Je
is,
suis
when
fâché.
we go and teach Kenny,
Definitely not
don't teach
Aristide.
Lesotho.
They talk that for sure.
I've been seeing you teaching your daughter, and then you go and come Bezo and teach him too behind the scenes.
No, I just learned.
Just learn.
I just learn on her status, on her story. I know French, so it just depends on what mood I'm in. If I'm hungry, forget.
But don't worry, I was in Guinea. My friends that zero English. All my friends with you outside walk more to Conakry.
You say, Monsieur, me. Let's come, sir. Anyway, though, like I'm
Spanish the weekend. You the one talk something I tongue the tie ibade.
Spanish is easier than French, though. If you know French, Spanish should be easy.
Yeah, but it's
Ah,
easy
Spanish
to
is easy.
understand. But for talk
Mimi knows
too,
only one Spanish word. I know it's Spanish.
We
but
don't,
what
cannot
is
we,
that?
don't, we don't want to hear it.
what
You
do
cannot
I
do
know?
something you do not know, guys.
Cannot talk what you don't know.
Anyway, though, let's not debate. I'm kind of excited to hear Mimi's experience in Cameroon,
I
because when
know,
she
right?
came back, she gave me a call, and man, I'm gonna just let her speak for herself.
So what's the question though? Like everything. Are we supposed
No.
to tell our story?
Give us the
Tell us your
gist.
experience. Tell us your experience. What happened? How was it?
And
And when was the last time you went
how
back?
long had it been? Yeah, how long had it been?
I said
Mhm.
before you even start, I said Carson, I was kind of you make up with this one.
It's Kandu now, huh? Eucalyptus. Remember those eucalyptus trees back in Cameroon, in Bamenda?
It's not the
Ah,
same.
okay. Sorry.
It's not the
It's
same.
the flavor.
smells good.
It's the flavor. It's the flavor.
Oh, okay.
You
And
know?
they say the way all my one succeed the year. I beg me personal by mistake sacrifice me. I beg.
Mistake.
Okay,
It's a bad
Mimi, sorry,
mistake.
go ahead, Mimi.
Okay. So when did I go? 2021 December. So that's like a year, right? Because we're February, yeah. Yeah, like a year and a month ago.
Big maths.
Honestly, my Cameroon experience, apart from my friends and my family, was zero. First, when I got to the airport, the heat. Those people, they don't even have AC. They don't have, I mean, the
Don't you live in
population
Houston?
and then the heat. Then you know how they don't wear roll-on, right? All those boys that are dragging backs. All
You
places
don't see why you don't want
smell.
It's a
I know, right? The roll on.
Guys,
Like,
it's not roll on, it's roll up.
no,
I
now
know the
roll-on.
thing
Let's talk
now.
Cameroon style now. Like, Moon not even talks to deodorant. Like, they don't wear roll-on. Everywhere is stinky. Like, and then the heat. Then one thing that I really hated is the way they are so entitled and they're rude. You know what I'm like? It's just too much. Luckily, when I was going by, I had my grandmom. It was easy. I didn't have to stand on those lines and everything. But to get my one back, we had 7 bags all together. To get one, it took us like 3 hours to get all our bags. And then my grandma was just
Rich
I was
auntie.
finding it. Yeah. And then the person that helped us, you obviously had to give him something. Like it was like by force. Even though I knew that I would have done it, but they're kind of giving you their price. Like, no, madam, ce que j'ai fait là, c'est, I just say like 50,000. Like, what if I even wanted to give you like 100? But you already told me, even though, like, you know what I mean? Like, they're so entitled, just so entitled. And then
And then hold on. Before
Mhm.
you talk about entitlement, somebody's helping you at their rate. This is their rate, though. This is
now
their
even
rate.
help you at their rate.
Everything in life has a price, right? So that's what they are telling you. That's their rate. So it's
No,
up to you
yeah.
now to bargain and say, no, madam, I want to pay you but this amount.
Right. No, they were not helping me. Let me tell you what they were doing. You know how your backs are passing.
You
They
work
drag
there.
it and put it down. Like it's something that I can do, but it's like they've assigned themselves to you.
Customer
Yeah.
service.
Because they've kind of like attached themselves to you because they know where you're coming from to kind of help you do those things. I now request for something that I can do, you know. Even though I was glad that they helped me because the bags are really heavy, but
To translate that, right? It's like
Mhm.
you go to the grocery store, the person bag, put your groceries, and then they ask you for a tip by force.
exactly.
Or it's like being
The,
independent, but still.
the only difference here is with every step of the way in the airport, there's somebody who's standing
Who
there
is
to
doing
help you,
something?
Mhm.
Collect.
Yes.
which is
Mhm.
something that you can
You
probably do by
must grease
yourself,
the
but just attach.
palms.
Right.
know.
Yep. And also another thing is Cameroon has just from when I left, I feel like it's gone backwards. Like when it comes to like cleanliness and all, it's as if all those buildings that were there, instead of even repainting them, they've instead like they've gotten older again. Like
One kind of
everything
trend.
just looks everything. The roads, okay, it was during like can period, so they kind of threw like gravel on the roads, but you just know that after can, if rain falls like 5 times, that
All over.
road will just everything will be back to normal. So I don't know. And then the traffic. I got on a bike because like that's the fastest way in Douala to like go to your destination. They say if you enter taxi, you'll sleep before road. So I got on a bike. Can you imagine that we're at the bridge? Then like we passed the bridge a little bit. This man told me to go down. People were carrying their bikes and putting them on the
Over.
Sans and on the
Mhm.
other side of the road that cars are going up. So now they're carrying their bike. The bridge is kind of high like that. It can even be like here. They carry their bikes and pass, and then they say, Madam, traverse. So you have to cross and meet them on the other side because there's too much traffic on their own lane. And then
Right.
now they're driving on this small place because a lot of cars are coming from the other side,
Mhm.
right? Idele say your foot small so some motor fit just scratch and move your foot. Like it's really and you really see that the people too are frustrated because you really climb on a bike like that, they're like, pourquoi je suis même né dans le pays, non, ici, non. Ça, c'est même quelle malchance. Like, everybody is angry in that country. Like, everybody is so angry. So, I really did not have I not have a good time. I just wanted to come back. I just wanted to come back. Even the hotels, roaches. And I heard that that's one of the, like, I stay like in JK Hotel. And in that area, that's like the best. But only the way roach, they fly. It's like everything is just going backwards. So
So Adele,
yeah,
since I'm learning French, you mentioned the word traverse. It doesn't mean cross.
yeah,
Okay, let me just
like
write that
traverse,
down.
right?
I'm learning French.
So
Je traverse the road. Okay.
je
My
traverse
frère,
la
laisse
route.
comme ça. N'y tout comme ça. N'y tout comme ça.
Let me learn my
Oh.
French now. What's your problem?
Mm-mm.
Wait,
Forget it.
Adele. So how long was it since you actually were in Cameroon though? Like before you went back?
So I came in 2014, April. If I went by December, like 8 years, 8 years. Hmm.
Mhm. And it was that big of a change to you, to where like you just
Yeah.
I
And
think
then especially the dirtiness, like somebody can dig in their nose and hold your bread and want to charge it. It's like,
that's
ah.
It's
yo
extra spice now.
extra protein.
Extra
Hmm.
protein.
But you know, funny enough though, right? Like, so when people do stuff like that, like people who sell food and not wear gloves, like to everybody else that's back home, or not everybody else, most
normal.
people back home, it's normal to them, right? The fact that you have stepped out and you have come back, it's like, hey, what are you
Tofia
doing
kwa.
here? Like,
And
what are you doing? And then sometimes you also don't want to speak up because if you speak up, people will start looking at you like you
Don't be
are
that
kind of
guy.
way. But you can
mhm,
also be quiet because that's something you're supposed to eat, you know? So it's like, what do
right.
you do?
Like I went
Yeah.
with Diane to buy fish, right? I went with Diane to buy fish in Yaoundé. So we went to buy fish. This woman, she just removed like change and get, 1,000 and coins and then handed it like to the customer. And then she wanted to tell us. I was like, la me, I thanked them. Diane, see Diane to pinch me. Don't be I'm like, Jan, she wants to tell her fish. Like she just gave change, like money. So this woman, I'm like, if they tell that fish, that one that they tell now is you that will eat it. And she has wiped her hand on that one like that. Make sure that you remember to eat that fish. Jam, I told her, I said I'm not gonna eat jam, but I really wanted to eat fish. But we just bought one for Jan, and then I bought another one for my cousin, and that was it. Like my appetite just cause. But for
Huh?
them, it's
Gone.
normal, which I understand.
The fire
You know,
cures everything.
I mean, there's one thing that I agree with you on is that what I noticed for a fact is that I think maybe not say Cameroonians, but there's a lack of the ability to maintain stuff, especially infrastructure architecture. Like all those nice, ministries. You look at them, you're like, are you serious? You know what I mean? It looks like I saw Fekafoot head office. I'm like, a Fekafoot head office this,
Yeah.
and then I was it was so. Then there was a new monument that was recently, I think last year, it was unveiled in Yaoundé.
I love my country.
The I
Yeah.
love my country one. When I was there, that's where everybody was going to take their marriage pictures. 3 months down the road, and they used to charge people. They used to charge people to enter that place. That little roundabout.
Mhm.
3 months later, you go and see the. It's crazy. And
I
I
love.
thought to myself, I'm like, I think I want to start, you know, some sort of like a cleaning business, because I could just tell like there's no way, like it seems like um uh, uh there's nothing in place to be able to maintain stuff. Like you build stuff, and after 3 months, it's just back to square
Diminishing.
one.
You want to go and
Um,
clean in Papa P's country when he's
But
still
I
yeah, and
alive?
then
regret them now.
When he's still alive?
then I realized I'm like, there's probably somebody who is getting there's a budget for that maintenance,
Exactly.
and there's
Isaac
somebody
for
who's
that.
supposed to be in charge of that,
Exactly.
but it just doesn't happen, and they
I
just
don't
leave the
get budget
money.
for all things for their side.
I know.
Every day,
All right.
you see on better things that don't take loan for IMF.
Ah, anyway, let's not get too deep into Papa P stuff because me, I'm afraid.
I know. All right. On that note, all right, it's time for our favorite segment, which is our African proverb. Hey, you young, please. It's our African proverb. So this one's actually a really good one. It's from one of the most famous African politicians ever, the goat himself, Robert
Robertus.
Mugabe.
Mugabe, the famous
So,
papa.
Before that pop quiz, Adele, since I understand you think we cheated you in trivia and we did you dirty. Where is
Don't
Mugabe
ask me.
from?
Don't ask me that question because I knew, but I forgot.
Where is
no, but
Mugabe
you're
Like
from?
forgetting.
is it not the president? Was it not the president of like Zimbabwe? Sorry, somewhere. I don't know. Is it? You are not.
Stop
What do you
yourself.
take me for?
Stop
What am I
yourself. Stop
saying?
yourself.
Zimbabwe.
Stop yourself.
You will not carry
1
last this
point to Adele.
2023.
Nope.
1 point for
New
the
Year's
future
resolution.
trivia.
I know. She's been studying.
She has
It's
been
not what
studying.
I'm studying.
She played the
I
video.
had
She's
ballon.
recording back.
I
Okay.
had ballon that
So,
day.
Mimi, let's see if you can go two for two, right? Let us know what you think this means, right? So, Mugabe says, when one's goat gets missing, the aroma of a neighbor's soup gets suspicious. I'll repeat it for those in the back. One more time. One more time. When one's goat gets missing, the aroma of a neighbor's soup gets suspicious.
So are we just supposed to like say it straightforward, like what that really means, or are we
Just say
supposed
it.
to interpret?
Whatever
Yeah,
you,
just
whatever
say it.
you.
Like
There's
this
no
might not
wrong
be giving
answer.
me
Say what's in your
credit.
heart.
There's no
All
wrong
Say
these
what's
answer.
in your heart.
proverbs like this, I'm the one that's always breaking it down. You have never
I
really
know.
sat down and said this
Like
Adele has common sense.
But you have sense now.
You
I don't have
do
sense, I
now.
have
No, you
common
have
sense.
you have common sense, plural sense,
I'm telling you.
preferred
Well,
sense.
especially coming from an African president and you know how they steal in Africa. I guess it simply means that I don't know if that's really the interpretation. I'm not a politician, but if your goat gets missing, it means that a neighbor stole it and made it.
Oh my goodness.
I beg help her. That help her.
no,
Now
I
say come back
mean,
to me.
I always have to take it back to food, man, because that's what it is, man. If somebody steals your meat, start looking at the other person's mouth if it's moving, because you never know. It could be the next person beside you, man. You're never really sure who is sitting beside you. Facades.
What if
Yeah.
it just means that if you are doing good, you could. I mean, if you're doing good, then like you can see the reflection of the people who are close to you. Like, what if we look at it that way?
Are you team
But
like?
please,
But why
Are you
where do
team
you
on
like?
now.
feel it?
This
Come
is
on.
this is the complete opposite of what it's
Donino, thank
Because
you. Donino,
you
please.
don't always have to look at
Please.
something. You don't always have to
In a
look at
bad
it
way?
negatively. You don't always have to look at it
Bell,
negatively.
Bell, you're the last hope, please. Help us. Help us, please. I can read it again. Let me read it one more time. When one's goat gets missing, the aroma of a neighbor's soup gets suspicious.
You rob Peter to pay for.
I mean,
Sorry.
the way I look at it is like a lot of times the genesis of a problem is very close by.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so what's the
Mm-hmm.
difference between what I said? I mean,
Because
yeah,
yours,
negative,
I said
positive.
exactly.
So
Negative
here's
Let's
the thing,
talk
positive.
right?
about politics.
So
No, I beg,
it
I don't want
ties
to talk politics.
Can I
it
interpret
ties
it?
in. I beg, please. You have already
One more
mocked us.
chance at interpreting a political way.
They'll,
Go
they'll,
ahead.
they'll
Go
not do
ahead.
this
Go
in
ahead.
heaven, no,
Go
or
ahead.
Like
fire.
Go ahead.
you see how they embezzle, right? That's like our money. You see how like those presidents and those ministers, like they take from the citizens, right? So they steal from us, and then now they are fine. They build their upstairs,
didn't
and
have
then
the
they
money
feed
to
their
begin
kids, and
with.
then we're hungry.
Okay.
You didn't have the money to begin with.
You know what's
See,
crazy?
please. I don't
Actually,
see them
Mimi,
still.
that's actually a good idea, though. That's actually a really good way to tie it in to actually what we're going to talk about next, right? Because you know how to say, keep your friends close, but your enemies closer. So the way I would take this is like, whenever you're missing something, usually the usual suspects are the
Very
people
close by.
around you.
Mm-hmm.
So, as you said, right? So, you mentioned that things didn't change, the infrastructure was different, right? So, when you went there, what exactly did you expect? Because I know, like, Bell mentioned that, every 2 weeks, every month, we're borrowing money for a new budget for something, but what's happening with that money? So, how do you think that impacted, the changes that you thought should have been made in Cameroon that weren't made?
Right, because especially with all this going on, right? All these things happening in Cameroon, I would have expected that the people that are insisting to stay in that position should at least be doing something. Like they should have even learned a lesson and even like make us understand or see why they really want to stay in that same position. But you go there, everything is going backwards. So they're not really supposed to be there because they're not doing any good where they are, like without calling no names. Because I don't know, I expected better, especially after all what has happened. You expect to go and even see that when you are complaining about this man or about these people, see what they've done. Like
Mm.
see what has changed. But when you go and you see things have instead gone backwards, you're just like, man, people really need to step down or people really need to do better. So yeah.
So,
I think I can
to
add to
tie
that a
in,
little bit.
oh, go ahead.
So to add to that, right? So kind of like two things. So in terms of the proverb, right? So going back to what Adele just said too, people in power and things like that. If you look at the all the money that's being spent in Cameroon, spent in quotations, right? If you look at the people who are like in the finance or those people who are in government, right? They're the ones that are getting rich and richer every single year because the money is just within them, right? Go back to the proverb, like your problems are always coming from people close to you. So that little circle, they're the ones who are always getting rich. Also, talking about people in power, right? I heard this funny thing that the people who are in power right now are the same people who fought for independence. So you see, like it's
You're right.
so you
Honestly.
see, so you see, like that rationale, that reasoning is still backdated. So nothing is like forward thinking. Everything is that's how it was back then. But now we're thinking about the future.
You would think that people who fought for our independence would also be trying to fight for the people too today, but it's the opposite.
Very opposite.
Very, very
So, question then to you guys then, right? So, since they're taking all these money to make all these changes, they're not doing them, right? So, can each of you like just tell me some of the things that annoyed you the most that you think shouldn't have happened? For me, I know a lot of people would probably say like the traffic stops
Mm.
and all that stuff. So, like, what are some of the things that really pissed you guys off when you guys went back? That's just like,
Road.
what is this?
You can start on that one because
Can I start?
yeah, you
I
can
don't
start
go
on
ahead. You have a whole list.
I don't know if
Boniface.
I don't know if I should call it embezzlement or I should call it, I'll still go back to that because can you imagine that I was scheduled to do my COVID test 2 days before, right? But they have sent a message like you're from America, it's supposed to be 24 hours, something like that. So I went to go do you had to sign in, log into one website that was barely working. Okay. I succeeded in like logging in and making an appointment. I went to the place. Can you imagine that it took us 5 hours to do the COVID test? I know somebody that went there to do their COVID test, right? They said that they don't have any more tests. They said I let her go and buy her own test at the pharmacy. She went to the pharmacy. They were selling simple COVID test for 12,000. She said she's not buying it. She came back to that same place and asked the gate man, that s'il te plaît, tu connais là où je peux trouver le test du COVID. This man said, donne-moi 500. He entered his gate man house and came out with COVID test and handed it to her. So it's
Yeah.
like things that they provide to take care of people, everybody steals and keeps to make their own money out of it. Because tell me how you're selling a gate man has COVID test that he's selling, and he's selling for 500, and it's in that same place that people say that people don't have COVID test anymore. So everybody has stolen and they've sold it to their individual people, right? That's why people ran out of COVID tests. Another thing, I went with my COVID test to the airport. This lady told me that she's not considering it. They sent me to one woman in the airport's clinic or whatever to sign a paper and put negative or whatever. I thought that, okay, if I go there, if they're doing me a COVID test, that's fair enough, I'll pay. They did not do me a COVID test. She just took a paper and then she said, tu vas donner combien? I said, la mère, j'ai trop dépensé, j'ai seulement 5 000. Eh, tu me donnes 5 000 que je vais faire quoi avec? Like, she was so rude. I'm giving her 5,000. That what she do with it? You've not done me no COVID test. You just want to stamp this paper, and I had a COVID test, and I'm giving you 5,000. You're refusing. Ah, reste alors ici. Restons alors, because she knows I have to go catch a flight. She's like, okay, let's stay there since I don't want to increase the money. I have to remove another 5,000 and add. Then when I give her, c'est comme ça que vous êtes. She's frowning and feeling it out. That's how we are.
That's how you guys are.
Can you imagine? Like, am I supposed to pay you and you're not doing me a COVID test? So it's just, I don't even know how to call that one. Either it's entitlement or it's embezzlement or whatever, but it's really annoying. Like, that was really my worst thing. Yeah.
You know,
Again, like
maybe,
Mugabe said, man, when your goat gets missing, the aroma of a neighborhood gets suspicious.
maybe to follow up on what you just said. When I was in Cameroon, when we landed, our flight I think was the last flight at Simaleng, so it was at night. But can you imagine that my brother and I were the last people to leave the airport
Airport.
because for some reason they told us that we couldn't enter the country, and then eventually we had to give them money. So the whole is just a bunch of like people just want to eat money. And can you imagine that also when we came in, you're supposed to do a COVID test. As we were going in to do that COVID test, the person who was doing the COVID test slides us his number and says, "Guy, if you need COVID test, message me." Okay, this is how much I charge. Anyway, we did that. Then as we go now, they tell us to stop. They say, "Yeah, you guys have blue passport." They say our blue passport. Blah 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 blah. We stayed there for an hour and a half. Everybody left, and they didn't want to give us our bags. That's one. And when we're coming back, we had 7 bags. They did the same thing, and because they knew that we were going to miss our flights, they said, "Okay, if you don't, guys, will bring your bags back." But because
Stay
of
there.
what they have that leverage on us that we have a flight, so
Mm-hmm.
eventually we had to give them money. So it's just a whole bunch of like entitled people, folks. People don't even know you. I remember there was a policeman at the airport that had the same name as my brother. He was like, "Where are you gonna give me some money? We have the same name." I'm like, what? And
Ah,
another
Jesus.
policeman stopped us and he was like, "You guys give me some money now. I have to go and bury my mother-in-law." So I'm like, "Yo, am I the one kill your mother-in-law? What's that got to do with us? So it's
Did
just
you
a
give him the
whole lot
money?
of it's we didn't give me money myself. It's still get money le
You
bless.
did?
So I mean, why not ballers, man?
Ah,
10 millions, c'est
But
quoi?
apart from that, I think another
hmm.
big thing that I thought was really lacking or poor is the roads. And And I know we always hear a bunch like every other week, every month, accidents on roads going to Bamenda, Yaoundé, blah 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 blah. And the roads on its own are not even great. And then now we talk about the safety, of like people driving these camions, these trucks that carry all these big boulders and stuff like that. There's no sort of like a way of like keeping people safe at all. And it was so scary driving on those roads, knowing that at any point, if that thing snaps, you're gone. So hopefully, in the years to come, all that money that we keep borrowing is going to go to some, important projects that will keep Cameroonians safe.
Like
He's
3
some dude,
seconds.
man. He's some dude.
Like 3 seconds.
For me, I cannot relate because my experience was perfect. There was nothing that I did not like. I loved everything about my country. Everything was perfect.
Papa P.
And you went until you boomed and
Papa,
came back.
Papa
How
P, are you
don't like
listening?
everything?
I'm
Papa
telling
P, are you
you.
listening?
Not sure what booming means, but no. To answer the question, I think one thing that like was disappointing back home is customer service. I always say back home there's no such thing as customer service.
What is that?
There ain't no such thing as customer service. You go into somebody's office, right? You come requesting for service and you're supposed to pay them, but the way they treat you is like
Like you have
it's
your
like
life.
you don't want business, right? Even you go to a restaurant, right? Whoever is helping you, or you go to a shop, whoever is helping you is just dragging your feet, just behaving one kind of way, and then if you just talk the wrong way to them, they decide not to help you. And the messed up part is most of those people do not own those restaurants, do not own those offices, do not own those shops, right? So somebody has worked their hard-earned money and opened the shop, and then like hired somebody and put them to take care of the shop, and then that person is just like being rude to people and losing business. And then the second thing, and that kind of touched on it, the safety thing in Cameroon, and no such thing as safety, man. Like you sat in the car. First of all, you go and then you break a taxi, and then you guys are five in the taxi. So in your head, the taxi don't flop. But I've seen people on the road, the taxi driver is stopping. In your head, you're wondering, what is he stopping for? He's trying to pick more. He's trying to pick more passengers. And that's how they'll squeeze you guys in the taxi like sardines. And then they'll still be trying to pick more. And then, oh my God, oh my goodness, when you leave Douala.
Before you continue, wait, Blesso,
yeah,
can you stop the taxi from taking more people and just say you pay more?
You can, yeah, you can. But will you do that all the time? No.
Yeah,
you can. You can say, okay, you're like, right. You just be like, okay, I'm going to pay you for all your seats. Just don't pick anybody else. You can do that, but it's not every time you're going to do that, right? So you get into a car from like Douala and you're going to Boya. The road is one kind of way. Oh no, when we were going to Bafusam, we hired a driver. He was driving us, and we're sitting in the car. And this guy, the road is already small compared to what we have here. You see two camions, two trucks. They're trying to pass each other. Like this guy see one small space. You are not seeing any space there. We are not seeing a road there, but that driver has seen two open lanes there, and that's how he's forcing 2 feet. And then you don't want to be rude because technically your life is in his hands. So now I'm telling myself, Blezo, normal. Now the normal in me is even surprised, like, huh? It got to a point where I was just like, Papa, I beg, don't take it easy. If we wait for night, we'll still reach that. So don't take it easy. Like to them, it's like life is not as precious. It's just my God. He was some dude, man.
You said he's not seen no road, but he saw 2 openings.
He saw 2 open lanes. Oh, and then there was one when traveling. You enter a car, you are going, and then the person who knows the direction is showing the driver. The person is telling the person like turn left over there, like turn left. Yeah, I'm wondering where are they turning left to? But that person and the taxi driver, they are seeing what they are saying they should turn left into, because me, I'm not seeing the road. I'm seeing a bunch of rocks. And that's how you guys are just doing stuff like this. Chaka. Oh my God. Oh, on you. Oh my goodness. I can go on and on and on. Turn right. I go. And you're looking, where's the road? What? And they're still going. Oh my God.
Now you drive. Is you driving?
There's
They
some dudes back
been
there,
to
man.
Cameroon
There's some dudes.
recently.
I've just been there
2015.
twice.
Oh yeah.
2011, 2015, yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
no,
Well,
yeah.
go
I
ahead
mean
and
like recent
No,
2015.
car has not gone back at
Carson,
all.
have you
but
been?
I'm
Don't go
Carson's
scared,
here.
good.
man.
Then
I'm
there's
shook.
I want to sit there and shit. Just say what about you?
Scared, man.
They ain't none, man.
They're not.
I
They're
know,
not.
right?
Then none
I
back there
know,
for
right?
him.
Carson
But
is a fan.
He loves Cameroonian
Bell,
food, but he does
question
not
for you
love
though.
going to Cameroon.
No, the thing is, right? If I go back, in Kem, Makinene, those are my first two stops. I don't care. Just stop somewhere around those places, please.
You
Let me
go there,
just
they
sit
will
back.
say it.
So your
You
drives
say
you
no.
came here.
They're putting you
Bruh,
with their face like that. They're first spitting on it very well. Asheta,
don't worry.
you chop saliva and soda.
no.
Look.
After they don't do
Look.
Ashete for fun boss, can't show back boss.
Yo,
All money.
The thing
make
is-
I no ever chop for Cameroon.
I've made up my mind. I'm wearing
Wow.
shades. I'm wearing the darkest shades possible. So when I do that stuff, I can barely see it. So
Can barely
let me
see
just be
there.
there. As long
As in, just no go you instead. Talking about
as
weird shit.
Bruh. I know how I am. But all right, so actually, no, quick question though, because I don't think we actually touched on it though. It's like the food in Cameroon, right? I know, like, obviously when you go there, it's organic, it's a little different, and we have to adjust to it. But there was like a whole thing about people getting poisoned in Cameroon.
Well, how
Mhm.
You
like-
guys have to deal like, did you
That's
have to like deal with like any precautions around that?
Yeah.
yes,
Two boys.
yes.
Can I go?
Go
Everybody
ahead,
was
go
so
ahead.
conscious that I went to my friend's house, and this is my very good friend. Her husband is my friend. She's my friend. Right now, they're in Denmark. Her husband even used to be here in Dallas, here in Nelson. I went to their house. She made like cats and everything. To me, I trusted that she would never do anything to me. But when she was about to cook the food, she actually called me. She's like, "Baby, come." I was in the kitchen with her, but I went and sat down. Like, you just to feel comfortable, because you don't know tomorrow, if it's not from there, you go and eat tomorrow in the next place and you have something's happening to you. Let it
Somebody
not
will
be
say
that
something.
shit.
Yeah, you start
You
tracing
know?
back, yeah.
Mhm.
So she actually called me to the kitchen. Betty, remove plates from there. I removed the plate. I put it down. She's like, "That's the butter. Wipe it." You know, you're understanding what she's trying to say, but she's making it seem like, you know what I mean? Which I understood. Like, she said, "Get the butter out and wipe it, wipe it, wipe it." Oh, we took it to the table. She put the plate in the same bowls. All of us, we sat and we ate. But I got the point. Like, I know what is happening. I don't want you to feel some type of way, you know. That was really the only place that I ate, because her house was so clean. You know, that people that have lived abroad before, and everything was so like, it was like American style, very, very clean. So I ate there with no like issues. Anywhere else, I'll not even lie. Hopefully my family members don't listen to this. In my father's house, when I went and my stepmother made food, when they brought my own in a plate by myself, I'll call one of her children. I'll call my little sister and say, "Be go and bring yourself."
Oh, well, hilarious.
After
Jesus.
I
Yo,
clap
That's a
for you,
double
I
homicide.
will take my clap back.
This is funny, but it's a very sad reality in Cameroon. The fact that, all people think I'm going back to Cameroon, I'm going back to Ghana, I'm going back to Nigeria, I'm going back to Sierra Leone, and they go and they have fun and they come back. But when we start talking about Cameroon, it's just fear. The other day I was talking to one of my friends whose friend as well went to Cameroon. This guy was getting ready to graduate from medical school in like 2 or 3 months. He went to Cameroon. He didn't even spend 24 hours, and he didn't even spend 24 hours.
He died.
So he died. And he was in medical school here in America, about to graduate in like 2-3 months. He's like, let me go to Cameroon,
Wow.
and that was it.
Chai.
The fact that it's the reality right now. It's going back to Cameroon. The fear that we all have. I remember as I was going to Cameroon, everywhere I went, I had my uncle. Even when I think I had a reunion with my class from boarding school. But as I was going there with my
Pulled up.
uncle, who's like my bodyguard.
Pulled up.
If my uncle pulled up, if I give for drink nimbo, I had to go buy and bring him. If I need to go for bathroom, I need to hold my glass. So like every little thing that you have to do is like you have to be very careful because you never know, man. It's really really scary and sad.
So you're suffering your uncle, sending him to go and buy a mimbo, tell him to hold your mimbo.
telling you,
I
you hold
didn't
your
even have
uncle.
to. I mean, he
You
was
hold
there.
your
He was like,
uncle.
"Look, peripheral,
Volunteer.
you need to chop for here, you need to drink for here," and that's what you go do. You
Wow.
right? So
Volunteer
Ever heard
like
service.
that.
about this
Mm.
girl that got
That's
married?
true.
She was from Dallas, her husband, and she died. She got married in Cameroon. She died. You remember?
I think I heard
Mhm.
that.
Nah,
Yeah, can you
Yeah,
imagine? You don't hear
Yeah,
that person.
nah.
that's sad.
yeah, I heard.
I stay away from bad
Yeah.
news.
After her
Yeah, but
wedding day,
this,
like a couple of days later, her stomach,
Yeah, I
stomach,
heard that.
stomach.
Wow.
yeah, this whole poisoning thing, right? So, luckily, when I was in Cameroon, I trusted everybody I was with. And then at the same time, too, you can never be too careful because when it's your day, it's your day. That's just what I believe in. When it's your day, it's your day. Doesn't matter how careful you are. But there was a streak of days, like I think it was 3 days, that every day I got up, somebody had passed away, from poisoning. Somebody had died from poisoning. And at that time, my stomach was still trying to get used to the food, and so like my stomach
Yeah.
was bugging me. So I was like, Papa God, this how you gonna see me out? Like this how you gonna let your dude go, man? All the way
Bro,
from
now.
Costa Rica. I want to go out like this. But like I trust everybody, but at the same time, like the thought is coming out, like you don't know what you could have bought, where, and eaten, and that's disturbing you. So like, just man, it was scary. It was scary, and it's a very unfortunate thing that a lot of people are being poisoned and killed just because they want to have a meal. Crazy.
Man, it was crazy. I remember there was this video one time on social media of this guy that's selling uh poison, cure for poison
At the
at
airport,
Douala
right?
Airport.
Yeah. At the airport. They're
That's
welcoming
his
you with that.
business, man.
But
As soon
there's
as you
cure for
get at the
poison,
airport,
though.
yeah.
Yeah, there is.
No,
So
But
how
oh yeah.
come
right?
these people
I
get
think
killed?
it depends, right? It depends the timing.
Yeah, because like there's this leaf, is it plum leaf or is it mango leaf? But you have to cut that one in the middle that has some kind of color and it still has like that liquid and chew it. And there's even like like I have medicine for poison that my dad brought, like, and they
Yeah.
work. Yeah, even when my brother was leaving Cameroon, they gave him, he drank it. My father gave him to like drink it, and just it doesn't have to be for poison, just to cleanse. So food poisoning
Even red
is
oil.
still
Red oil
poison.
does that.
Yeah,
And
that's
black
what does that.
medicine,
Yeah,
right? You remember black medicine? I have black
So go
medicine.
and eat achu. So eat achu is
No,
the cure.
no, 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 no. Just
Achu
like
has
Dead
been
oil
used.
now.
pepper, not the
So the
bleach one. Like
bottom line here is that you're going to Cameroon, take your poison medicine.
When you get there, tell somebody that is there to give you poison medicine. Don't get
uh, see, if you are going to
Okay,
Cameroon,
one.
or let's not even say Cameroon, just in this life, just be careful and pray. If you believe in prayers, pray. If you don't, then don't pray. But
better pray prayers work.
because because like I said, you can never be too careful. But anyway, I don't want to talk about
Hey,
this negative stuff
all right.
much.
It's okay. It's okay. I'm actually happy you just said that. Right. Let's move on to something more positive. So, before we wrap up, right? So, like, what are some of your fondest memories going back? Like, what are some of the things that you would look back and see as like a highlight from your trip?
I actually tweeted something the other day.
Pim pim.
Yep.
100.
What's something I miss about Cameroon? It's me standing in my 17, stopping the taxis and saying, "I beg, I did go back way down. I give 250 inside 500." When you stop the taxi, right, or when you stand at the taxi driver come, he say, "Pim." When you say your destination, you say, "Pim pim." That's the terminal. Yes, let's go.
Yeah.
It's so silly, but that's just one thing I miss. Like I miss that.
The taxi code.
You don't miss being insulted. You say, j'ai
I was just
sang
gonna say
dans
that.
500. They say, écrase, tu fumes. And then you start this taxi. Like
The,
you grind
the
there, watch and smoking.
road rage in Cameroon. Oh my goodness. So I was in a car with my uncle. My uncle has one like old car he uses for farming. Like that car, to start that car, you have to beg the car and then like
Push it.
repeat the 10 commandments. But my uncle is in the car and he's trying to like turn somewhere, right? And then somebody's going as they're supposed to be going. So my uncle is in the wrong. But come and see where my uncle is shouting at that guy. Tu bois le bruit. Then he drinks pap. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, uncle, you are the one on the wrong way. Like, why are you shouting? And just like that, oh my God. road race in
You know,
Cameroon, that
when
insulting
I was
every.
in
Oh my god.
when I was in Yaoundé, I had the chance to drive for a couple of days, and I was in the car with my uncle, and I don't know what happened. Then I was like, yeah, mommy. He said, yes, that's so.
But I get one on, Mr. Man. Wait to you. I mean, like,
I was I remember.
Oh, snap.
Yo, he said, yes, if you drive for the country, insult person. I said, so. I said, yeah. And it just comes. It's one of those things where you like, it's just part of the experience, man.
So that's your
But
own
anyway,
fun memory.
no. I would say
Sorry.
my fondest memory is just being with my family.
Popping
Being in America
bottles.
for so long. Nah, I didn't put bottle, so I beg.
I beg, we saw. Don't lie. We
Yo,
saw.
Dory, man.
We
Dory,
saw.
man.
We
all
saw.
those fake drinks. I said, maybe
Sure.
did they give you guys fake drinks at the club? Hey,
Shit.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
bought Jack Daniel. It was so different. Like
That's the worst thing to buy in Cameroon.
right.
Jack Daniels.
So what do you buy then? What should you be buying?
just bring your own mimbo, man.
Just
Bring your own,
buy
eh?
pamplemousse, please. Or you bring your amiibo
Yeah.
from America, or you go to like the Santa Lucia's and you get like actual drinks from there. Those are like the real
People
drinks. But
realize
if you go
that
Can you
some
bring
bar,
your own to the club?
no.
No,
So how you drink at the club then?
no,
Yeah,
just go.
so
I mean, at the club, you're just gonna have to take the L, bro.
Ah,
just take the
Jesus.
L.
But not
is
every
it
club
only
does that,
me?
though.
Is it only me? But people realize that even the pamplemousse, the ginos don't taste like when we're small. Like you know how you
Yeah.
make on your throat, you bubble here like that. It's not making that thing again.
Obey.
Yeah, but that one is
When I
preservative,
remember
man.
that,
When it's cold. Now all things just flat. Everything is just
Yeah.
flat and I don't know if it's just like my taste buds or I don't know.
Nah,
Was
the
it
struggle,
good?
I think they changed it.
Because
I think it's changed.
it definitely changed.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because
Exactly.
Cassie, to answer
even
your
if you shake it
question,
anyhow, it won't explode.
But go ahead, that. What were you saying?
I said to answer your question, my fondest memory would just be being around my family. Being away for so long, you see pictures every single year of like new babies, and you see them grow through pictures, and then just being there, and then finally, meeting everybody that you haven't seen or you haven't interacted with physically for years and years. It was probably for me the most the fondest memory that I had in Cameroon, just being with family.
Facts.
I
So
think that
the
was
recognition
nice.
of being a bush fella.
So bring me a helicopter.
I know. Daniel, what about you, man? You've been quiet.
Honest memory? Gee. I
In Okada to
mean,
Oshe.
think of that to share. I mean, that definitely cut down the trip time to like an hour and a half compared to 4 hours. But fondest memory, I think like everything that I said, right? Being around family, especially not seeing them for a while. But my most recent trip to Africa was, well, mine was East Africa. When I was to be honest though, just being in Africa changes you. It just makes you feel at home, regardless of whether you're in your country of birth. But just being on that continent, like when you land and you get out of the plane and just breathe that air, you're like, wow, I'm home. Regardless of where you are, it just feels very homey. So, yeah, I mean that being in Africa just makes everything better.
Nice. Well said. So what's the consensus then? Are we going back? Are we,
Hell yeah.
never going back?
We're going back now.
So
We're going back.
despite
We love Papa
We're
going
P.
back.
We have to go
We're
back.
just not buying fish from the road.
We're going back, bro.
Or buying Jack
Adele, what about
Daniels.
you?
That's home.
We're not
Adele,
buying Jack Daniels anymore.
if Adele's going back,
Adele, we cannot hear
it's
you.
good.
I'm not going. Well, I'll go back if something like I went back
Important.
because I miss my dad and I've not seen like my little ones since they were born. I've seen my dad. My dad is here. They might become the other ones might be coming soon. So there's
No
nothing
more reasons.
else left for me in Cameroon.
Unless it's an occasion.
Unless it's something, God forbid, something bad that must take me there or something good, like
Something
somebody
good.
gets.
Something good.
I mean,
No, I'm just saying that, like, worst case scenario, you never know. But that's the only thing that might take me back there. Or somebody getting married,
And then I have breaking news for you.
Tell me.
This is an NYK first.
Mm.
Carson getting married in 2024 in Cameroon.
Yeah, last. Shut up.
Come
That's
on, don't get
We're
your
done.
friend.
Please, we're not doing none of that. Come on now.
So we are all gonna be in Cameroon for that wedding.
Yeah, that's not
Amen.
happening.
We
But
in there.
Amen.
all right,
Amen.
guys. Just to wrap things up, consensus. Everyone said they are going to be going back for whatever their reasons may be. So as much as we may complain, criticize, be annoyed by everything, it's still our country, still our native land, it's still our home. You feel me? So with that being said, that does it for this episode of Naino Podcast. It's been real. Definitely want to thank you guys for sticking with us all this time. More episodes to come through in the very near future. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed. Peace out.